What's going on, guys? Scarlet Eye Kurtza here, back again with another special video. I'm joined once again by Dutch. If you guys don't know, he was in the last tier list video, and if you haven't seen it, you need to go watch that. Do it now. But we're back again today to talk about One Piece. I did promise more One Piece content, and I wanted to talk about chapter 1000 because, yes, I did do a review, but it's so much more to talk about. So much more to break down in the chapter. So that's what we're going to do today. So without further ado, without any more waiting, let's hop right into the discussion. And I want to get Dutch's thoughts on chapter 1000, how he felt about the chapter, and you know what he liked and what he didn't like about the chapter. So the floor is yours.
Yo. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 1000. It was kind of polarizing for me because
Okay.
I definitely liked it, but I didn't love it.
All right. Yeah, and I think that's.
But it was a good chapter. But you know what I mean?
Right.
I just felt like
it wasn't enough there. Like it could have been more. Cause to be honest,
because I see what Oda was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wanted like Ace. He had to be in there. Ace had to get some panels. I like how Luffy and the Minx in the beginning. That was cool. I actually like that part.
Yeah.
Because he always messes up everybody's name. It's hilarious. But he does. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's funny, but you know, like Luffy, he's sincere. So I love that about Luffy. He has that effect on people.
Yeah. Genuine guy, man. Straw Hat Luffy.
I guess, you know, just like to finish off my feelings, it was just a good chapter. You know what I mean? I guess my expectations, you know what? My expectations were probably more, that's the problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
The chapter itself was fine. It was a great chapter of One Piece. You know what I mean? And it's obviously a setup chapter.
Yeah.
So it's a setup chapter. So I guess you probably may or may not have been expecting that from chapter 1000.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of echo your sentiments. I think my initial reaction was excitement. Obviously, you know what I mean?
Just reading it
and seeing it, right, because we were waiting. The anticipation and the build-up was so crazy.
Yes.
And I think we all kind of had high expectations because this was chapter 1000, you know, so we expected something huge from Oda. And I would say he delivered to some degree. You know, maybe like I think for most people, our expectations were very high because, you know, a lot of people thought
like
certain characters might come, you know, join the fight.
It was the expectations.
People thought, we would see more.
Like, what did we actually get? Like, if I were to ask you, what do we get in chapter 1000? How would you
only
answer that?
Thing we got was the reveal of the new attack, and we did get some. I guess we got the origins of how Ace got his Viva card. We got some flashback interaction.
The Viva card thing was nice. I like that.
But you're right. I feel like there could have been a little bit more juice.
Right, and that's why I was so dead when you asked me in the beginning. Because it's like,
no,
you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you on that. I feel like
because I did like the chapter, but it's like that feeling I have, like.
It could have been. It could have been a little more.
Even though I was trying to temper my expectations, like, you know, everybody was saying like, "Hey, you know, don't expect nothing crazy." But
it's funny because I felt the exact same way. Like it was just for me, and you guys probably can tell from my previous videos. Like I always started the video talking about chapter 1000's coming, you know, because my excitement was through the roof, and I did feel a hint of like disappointment that we didn't get any more.
Once the high came down.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. The first hour it came out, it was just great. I read it like 4 or 5 times.
Because I did think, okay, there's 2 things I thought we could see, and I was kind of disappointed that we didn't see, but obviously we will see them by the time the story's over. Or at least one of them I think we might learn within Wano Country arc. But one of the 2 things I thought we could see was, the revelation of the Will of D. I thought it was some build up. We saw, I forget what number chapter that was when we saw, I believe it was like 997.
Yes.
When we saw Law in search of the poneglyphs. Mm-hmm. That was the last time we seen Law prior to chapter 1000. He was in search of the poneglyph. Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, that wasn't the right poneglyph with the information or the origin of the Will of D. But I thought, we heard Yamato reference those who will bring in the new dawn or the dawn of the new world. So we got a lot of hints towards the Will of D, but we didn't get the Will of D revelation. And I thought we might get something, I thought we would see what we saw from Luffy. Obviously, he was going to make his grand entrance to the roof, but I was expecting us to get more information on the Will of D, and we didn't get it, but it's cool. Like I said, Oda likes to give us things in little increments.
For that.
You thought so?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything concrete.
Yeah.
On the Will of D.
You know what? I didn't think. I guess okay. Let me clarify and provide more context. I don't think my expectations were he would tell us what it was necessarily, but I thought he would give us a more concrete clue, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Even though we kind of people kind of speculate the meaning of it, and we kind of get a feeling that the Will of D means the people who seek the most freedom in the world of One Piece, or the people who are fighting for freedom, or to be the freest in the world. And obviously the opposition is the Celestial Dragons, who want order and want to control everything and kind of be like the dictators of the world. So, with the world government, the clash with the revolutionaries. So I think most of us kind of assume that's what the Will of D has something to do with. But I thought maybe in chapter 1000, it would be cool to get something a little more concrete that we can hang our hats on. And we didn't get it. But again, you know what I mean? Like Oda likes to give us stuff in small pieces.
One 1000,
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
he didn't stray too far, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
it's Oda. We love him.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I thought it was a very good chapter. It was I enjoyed it. The panel we got. How did you feel about seeing Kaido and Big Mom, and then you had the worst generation?
One of the best panels ever.
Yeah, I talked about.
We should mention that. Like, I guess we do sound kind of ungrateful. Like I was saying, got one of the greatest panels ever, but it wasn't that good, huh? Niggas ain't shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was a great moment. That was a very, very. I think when I saw that panel, that's when it hit me that we've made it to where the fandom and everybody was like, "This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the yonkou." Right. Versus the young generation, the new generation of pirates.
He delivered that.
And actually seeing it concrete in panel format, where you see the 1-page spread, it was beautiful. It was like, wow, like this, for me, I think that's when it kind of just set in, like, wow, we're finally here. Like, we're about to get the start of this battle. You know what I mean? This battle on Wano that we've been waiting for.
We started in Dressrosa.
Right. Like, for years, especially for those who've been following the series for years. We were in Punk Hazard in like 2013 or something like that. So, that was fantastic to see. That was actually, and we're going to talk about the Red Rock, but that was actually my favorite part of the whole chapter. Like, that part specifically was like, wow. You know what I mean? I thought that kind of summed up what we have to look forward to going into, chapter 1001 and beyond. So great stuff from Oda as always. You know what I mean? He always delivers for us One Piece fans. We got to be grateful. But yeah, so transitioning on from that, I just made a reference to Red Rock, which is a revelation of the new attack. How did you feel? What were your thoughts?
Panel, the second best panel.
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely. What were your thoughts on
that? That was incredible. That was just, it's good to see, that we have a fighting chance now. Because, when he first fought Kaido, when he thought that the crew had died, he got washed.
Yeah.
He got one-shotted.
that was pretty bad.
And Kaido let him go off, and it was like, nope. So now he has what it takes to at least damage Kaido.
Yeah.
You can tell, I guess, by his head lighting on fire and the look on his face. So, and what Big Mom said, like her reaction tells it all too. But it's still gonna be, Well, no. Let's keep it to Red Rock.
Yeah, the Red Rock, I thought the Red Rock was very cool. I thought it was really cool to see, as we see Luffy develop and grow stronger with his techniques, somehow he's incorporating fire. So I think it's really cool that he's keeping Ace alive in that way. It's like Ace is fighting with him, so to speak. And I think that's a cool gesture. I think it's cool for Oda to incorporate that. And obviously for Luffy as a character to go as far as like generating fire in his attacks. Now how he's doing it, we have no explanation for how this technique, even the Red Hawk, we have no concrete explanation.
Right. The only thing
that like how that's possible.
My headcanon is like, like he's rubber, so the heat from him extending and expanding at such speeds, that's how he generates the heat. And gear second, because like correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't a Red Hawk like he's incorporating, because it's not just gear third, right? Gear third is a hit that he follows through on.
Yeah, correct.
But Red Hawk and Red Rock, you can see it's just like a bullet stamp. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Yeah, no. It's just so I'm thinking.
Well, I think Red Hawk, he kind of follows through with it. When they show it in the anime, he's kind of like extending his hand.
But his hand does come back, or not?
No, it's not like quite like that. That's something completely different. It's kind of like, what is it, jet pistol a little bit. That's what it looks like to me.
Right, because his fist is not there.
Right. You just see the after image.
Exactly.
From the force or the speed of the punch. Yeah.
I'm wondering if that, if he's using some gear second, if he's incorporating,
I think you're definitely dead on when you said he's generating, because he's rubber.
Right.
And maybe also, like, the armament hockey has something to do with it.
Right. Well, definitely. Right. So, I can't believe we didn't mention that. Right. Yeah, he has to be using Rio. Yeah. So, I mean, either way, it's cool as hell, man. It's a very cool attack. But yeah, man, he lands it on Kaido. Kaido looks to be hurt. I'm going to just leave. You guys can't see me. I'm leaving air quotes on that. Because he has the exclamation and the question mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. His eyes are widened out. He looks he looks like he's feeling something right there. So, obviously that is a very powerful attack. Very, very powerful attack for it to, because when we saw him fight Kaido earlier. Now again, I don't remember what it looks like in the manga, and I'm gonna add, obviously, as we're talking, you're probably seeing these panels. I don't have it directly in front of me, but I remember when he was fighting Kaido to begin with, and Kaido was in the dragon form, and he came down on Kaido's head with Gear 3. It looked like Kaido was hurt, and obviously he wasn't hurt. So I think obviously this is the same scenario where Oda's trying to make it seem like Luffy is really doing something, but when we see later on, I think Kaido's going to be completely fine after this attack. And, before we started recording, me and Dutch were talking about what might happen. And I think Dutch, we implied that at the end of Act 3, there's going to be tragedy. There's going to be, I believe somebody's going to possibly die. But we know since Oda is basing it off of Japanese kabuki plays, we know that Act 3 results in tragedy. So I'm going to go in. I guess we can kind of jump off of Chapter 1000 and kind of segue into some of our predictions. I think that we will see Luffy fail tremendously. I don't think Luffy should have grown that much in Kuti that now he is able to defeat Kaido. So I think he is going to lose or suffer a tremendous loss at the hands of Kaido. A character, I don't know which character. We've seen that the Scabbards were moved in Chapter 1000, so it may not be the Scabbards, but maybe somebody on the roof, killer, somebody on the roof is going to die, I think. That's just my headcanon, my prediction. I could be wrong. We need to see some sort of tragedy. And I think Luffy just losing isn't going to be enough. I think a loss of life is really going to convey like this is a serious, like we're facing the yonkou here, you know. You can interject because I was kind of going long-windedly, but
well, no, because I agree with everything you said. That's why I was like, you know, just letting you flow. He's definitely gonna fail, right? This punch, you know, there's gonna be a lot between this point and Kaido actually going down. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
And Big Mom's there, and that's a huge, literally huge question mark. Like you said, it's like how strong did these, you know, like how strong are these people that Kaido can clearly just flick away like a week ago?
No, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Zoro hasn't had a shot in him yet, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll finally. Oda. One good thing about this is we finally get to see Zoro push to his limit since the pre-time skip.
Yes.
This is
absolutely.
finally that time.
Yes.
Because he is definitely can't hold anything back now.
Yo, for sure.
Nothing.
For sure.
So and I think it's time for his Conqueror's Haki to awaken.
Ooh.
I'll throw that in there. This is the arc. This is the time.
Ooh,
I don't know what's gonna happen, but hey, you say tragedy, so Oda could easily.
Yeah.
We could just throw that in there.
Yeah, no, that's a good prediction. You know, we've talked about this, or the fandom has talked about Zoro, and obviously Oda kind of like he's trolling us. You know, he's alluded to
what the
Zoro's Conqueror's Haki, but haven't showed us anything. So we can definitely probably expect to see Zoro's Conqueror's Haki awakening in this arc. I definitely think it's going to happen. And I want to go back to Zoro. So we're going to hold off on Zoro because I have a lot to say about Zoro. But going back to Luffy and him losing in this matchup. Because I think Act 3, like I said, there's going to be a death. There's going to be a loss by Luffy. And I mentioned this before we started recording, and I guess now is a perfect time to talk about this. This is a great opportunity for Oda to do something different with Luffy's character. If Luffy loses, to see some deconstruction of Luffy's character. So we know that Luffy has strong resolve. Luffy does not give up. He has no quit in him. We did see in Sabaody Archipelago, after Kuma was erasing his crewmates, you know, he told his crew to run because he knew the threat level that Kuma was, and he didn't want his crewmates to die. So he wanted to escape. And that was the first time in the series we kind of seen Luffy at this low point. And Oda kind of played with that. Obviously, when Ace died, he was at a very low point. This could be an opportunity for Luffy to kind of reach his lowest point, and a lot of things kind of accumulating and resulting in disaster. And this could be an opportunity to deconstruct Luffy's character a bit. Once he completes his journey and overcomes this obstacle, you know, that's just a boost for his character. You know, his character, we've seen him go through such a large period of character development in this part of the story. I think that would be a great opportunity for Oda to do that. I would love to see that. I would love to see Luffy kind of just be in a space, where he feels like, I can't win. You know, maybe, you know, I was overly optimistic and thought I can actually beat these yonkou, and they're on such an incredible level of strength at such a bar that I cannot touch at this moment. Maybe I can't be the king of the pirates. And I think that would do so much for his character development, and just seeing him bounce back from that low would be super cool. Just some headcanon, just a theory that I would like to see.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
You can give me your thoughts on how you feel about that, or can you see Oda taking Luffy in that direction, or is that something that you don't think would happen to his character?
I'm iffy about him questioning his resolve again.
Right.
Because he already did that.
That's true.
And Jinbei beat him out of that, and we're here, right?
Right. Yeah.
That was, you know what I mean. When Ace died, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's like, it can happen. Just that part about him questioning his resolve. That's what glared out to me, because it's like, well, you did that already. Right.
I think that's a good point. That's a good point.
Let me just give that to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's actually a good point, and you're right. I don't see Oda really repeating a certain story beat that he's already done or or a part of Luffy's character that he's already explored. But I do think there's something that he can do to kind of make it where Luffy is kind of questioning, like, if he can overcome maybe what Kaido is, right? Or reach that level of strength, you know. I don't think that's going to happen because that's not Luffy's character. I don't think in this point in the story that Oda is going to make him start to question his ability, but I just want to see something like we haven't seen with his character. I want to see Oda do something, to kind of build him, because Oda is a great writer and he's capable. He's shown us, you know, he's shown characters like Usopp go through an amazing story arc in Water 7. You know what I mean? He's shown, you know, even Sanji in this past arc in Whole Cake, you know, go through some serious character development and questioning things about his past, questioning his loyalty to Luffy, questioning so much about himself. I want to see kind of Luffy as the leader, and like you said, he's done that to a degree, but I think he can go deeper with it. Not saying I want him to go full Togashi Gon level.
Chance for Zoro.
Ooh.
When has he had that?
Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's getting a little spicy.
Maybe that's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's possible. I think Zoro can go through a similar character because he hasn't really had his character moment yet. And yo, this is a great. Okay, now I think, guys, this
is a light bulb.
We didn't talk about this at all before the recording, so all this is just organic, fresh out our head canon right here. Mm-hmm. But maybe this is a potential moment for Zoro, because if you scan through the story, and yes, early on during the Baratier arc, which you've read more recently than I have, and his moment with Mihawk, and you know, him vowing never to lose and become, but that wasn't enough, right? That was like so long ago in the story.
It was 950 chapters.
Yeah, right, exactly. That was a great moment, but we haven't, like, Zoro's been very even killed. Yeah, you know, so Nami's got a moment. Everybody's had a moment, and I feel like Zoro.
Chopper's moment.
Yeah, Chopper's moment. Like, everybody needs, and I think this could be a perfect opportunity. We see, like, Zoro, you know, and obviously early on in Wano, it seemed like Zoro was getting a lot of spotlight, and it kind of like
he is again
lately. Yeah, lately, yeah. And in these recent chapters, you know, the talk about Zoro. I did a video on Zoro. You know, Zoro's one of my favorite characters in the whole series. This would be so cool to see him really go through something, you know, that affects his character and forces him to develop a little bit more, you know what I mean? Just to see a little bit more. But going back to the end of Act 3, because I don't want to get too long-winded about this, but going back to the end of Act 3, you know, it ends in tragedy. So I think we're gearing up for something. And these characters are going to be at their lowest low. Right. You know, because obviously, you know, the whole thing is to overcome what the great threat is, you know what I mean? And normally Act 4 is the battle. Act 5 is the triumphant victory. So these characters at the end of Act 3 should be at their lowest low point, where it seems like nothing they can do will defeat what's in front of them. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought that would be a great moment for Luffy's character. But going back to some predictions on chapter 1001 and beyond, I think we can see other Yonkou showing up. Now, I haven't talked to you about this, but Oda did release a statement, and I'm sure you've heard it or read it, about the redhead pirate or the redhead person moving soon. So we're going to, last time we seen Shanks, he was at the revelry, and he was with the Gorosei, and he's like, I want to talk to you about somebody.
Did you mean showing up to Wano?
Yes, well, Oda alluded that Shanks is going to move. Right. So I'm assuming him and Blackbeard are going to end up in Wano by the end of it. You know, obviously not within the next couple chapters, but by the end of Wano arc, all 4 Yonkou will be in Wano. How do you feel about that theory? I think it's going to happen.
That's absolutely...
I think we also will see the Grand Fleet. This will be a great time for Luffy's Grand Fleet to show up in the story and do something, because we haven't seen them since Dressrosa, or the end of Dressrosa. So I believe that's going to be something else that we see. And that's going to be a very impactful moment. Going back to Luffy, because I do want to see, Luffy or Zoro, a deconstruction. But that would be such a great moment for Luffy's characters, right? When he feels like he's at a low point and he has his allies, obviously the Straw Hats, but not just the Straw Hats, the Grand Fleet show up to support him. So it's like, it's not just me, I'm fighting for everybody. I'm fighting for, not just Wano, not just myself, but the freedom of the world. Like, I'm fighting for everything. So that would be a cool moment if Luffy does reach a low point for the Grand Fleet to kind of just show up like, hey, we got you, Straw Hat. Like, like Bartolomeo puts the straw hat on his head. Like, yo, bro, we got your back, bro. It's all good. Like, we going, we'll take care of it, bro. We got you. But
that definitely sounds good. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know with this guy Oda.
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could definitely see Luffy getting maybe taken out first, and that could lead into some development for Zoro, like we were saying. Yeah. Maybe it's Conqueror's Haki awakening. Who knows?
Yeah, no, that's true. Want to see where Oda goes with it. I know you mentioned something before we recorded.
People are going to start getting swatted down.
Yeah, you mentioned Big Mom. Now, Big Mom really shakes things up. And she's a wild card because you don't know, what she's going to do. What role is she going to play in all this, right? Because we've been focused on Kaido, but it's like, yo, Big Mom is here too. Like, she's on that roof. Even though Kaido got waxed by Luffy, like, she's there. Bro, she's very intimidating, very scary. Mm-hmm. Like you mentioned, like, she's snatching souls. She got Zeus and
those homies.
The homies. It's just crazy. It's so crazy.
She still wants Luffy. So it's like, that's why I think Luffy may go down first.
Yeah, that's true.
Since Act 3 has to end in some kind of tragedy, that's a pretty...
Yeah, Big Mom...
That's a good pick.
Yeah, Luffy Big Mom definitely is going to enter the battle. I haven't really theorized or thought about what I think her role is going to be, and that's where it's fun. That's where it gets fun, because it's like, what is Big Mom going to do? She's going to be I think it's going to be...
She's going to portray Kaido at some point, but it's too early.
Yeah, now this is the thing with the way Big Mom has been handled in this story arc, because... Oda's been playing around with this amnesia stuff. I'm trying to, I can see her somehow hitting her head.
Kaido might do it. Knock her into a fucking stupid.
Oh, Lord.
She wakes up, craving Oshiruko, angry as hell.
So I do think, and I'm hoping he doesn't do this, but I know that that's a possibility where Big Mom can go through another amnesia bout, be an ally and kind of help in some way.
I would absolutely hate that.
I would too, but I think Oda can write himself out of a corner in that way. Now, that would be cheesy and cheap for even Oda to do, and I hope he doesn't.
Because that's like...
I feel like he can pull it off, though, in a convincing way, but...
How many times she had amnesia?
Yeah, she already had amnesia twice.
So do we actually need Big Mom to get amnesia again?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I hope doesn't happen. But
I just feel like hate Big Mom for that.
I just feel like that could be used as a plot device. Mm-hmm. At some point, if Oda kind of writes himself into a corner, it's like, okay, let's use Big Mom to be an ally to help the Straw Hats in some way, and then get amnesia again and try to kill them. But I hope he doesn't do that. Lord, please, Goda, don't do that, bro. But I'm curious to see what he does with Big Mom's character. I think it's going to be fun. That's why I'm saying I am so excited about these next couple chapters, because they're going to answer a lot of these questions, and I think we'll have a more concrete idea of where the story is headed after that. I want to give you guys my theory as of now. Like, it's subject to change at any point. So don't be surprised if I come back in a later video and be like, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, because, as more information comes out, obviously I can alter where I think the story is headed. But I think right now, Zoro is going to play a huge role in the defeat of Kaido. I think it's a given. Like, Zoro is going to be huge when it comes to taking down Kaido. Now, what that role will be, I'm not sure if I have an answer for that.
Me neither.
But I think he's already left the breadcrumbs. I think he can end up with both swords or both blades, and I think he will severely wound Kaido. Or hurt him enough for Luffy, for Luffy to kind of finish the job. I think it's going to be
that's the least
a Zoro Luffy combo, or maybe like a Zoro's going to cut him, and there's going to be like a 3-way ultimate punch with Luffy, Law, and Kid, which I think would that would be kind of lame. I don't know. I think if it happened, I'll probably be hyped for it. But talking about it like before it happens,
I think the most it'll be is 2 people.
So maybe
blow.
Maybe Zoro cuts him. Then we see Luffy and Kid.
Nah, Kid.
I think he's hyping up Kid though. Like Kid is on the roof.
I don't believe in Kid.
You know what I mean? Kid is getting a lot of hype right now.
Well, this is the time for him to shine.
Yeah. Oda has been hyping him up.
I'm just not buying into it.
Wano, he's hyping him up. I think Kid is going to be. He's
carrying the medal.
I think. Okay, I referred to early in this discussion. I said Killer is going to die. Mm-hmm. I think Killer is going to die.
Well,
so it's going to be those characters on the roof are going to defeat Kaido, in my opinion. Those characters we saw on the roof, I think that's a foreshadowing. Those are the characters that are going to finish Kaido. Excluding Killer, you have Zoro, you have Law, you have Kid, and Luffy. And I think, you might get the room, Zoro comes in, 1-2 slice, 2 sword style, you know what I mean, to the ribs. and Kid and Luffy just hits him with the finishing blow. Who knows? This is all conjecture, though, guys. I just want to. Matter of fact, I keep saying I'm going to end the video off, but I do want to end it off here. Kaido's death, because that is another big topic of discussion. I would like to see Kaido die, but I don't think he will die.
Agreed.
So
I can't imagine it.
I can't imagine it either. But
if he hasn't been killed already.
Right.
How are y'all going to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
There's people way stronger than you.
Exactly.
That are alive right now.
And real fast, I want to get your opinion on Kaido's devil fruit, because we haven't talked about that. What is your thoughts on that? Do you feel as though Kaido's devil fruit lets him fight in water, or at least survive in water?
I think, he definitely survives in water, because we've seen Jack do it. Well, no, Jack's a fisherman.
Yeah.
He's a fisherman devil fruit user, so couldn't move, but he could breathe. So he was absolutely fine. He just had to wait to get saved. But Kaido, because he's the only fish zone, I think he can move underwater.
I agree.
And I think that's why Big Mom brought it up, because that devil fruit is so incredible and rare, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she gave it to him. That's why that's why she's holding it over his head, because it's like, bro, I gave you the greatest devil fruit. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I think he can now. Whether he can fight underwater remains to be seen. But again, people say, yeah, right,
he's Kaido.
Yeah, the strongest land, air, and
so we
sea.
know he can survive underwater already.
Right.
I'm assuming that, like Jack.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he can be underwater and not drown. Right.
Right.
So, but since it's the first and probably only fish fruit, it's a fish fruit. Okay.
Emphasis on the fish, guys.
Yeah. So
emphasis on the fish.
I'm thinking Kaido is essentially Gyarados.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Gyarados can move in the water.
I think
in the sky. No, I'm not. Can Gyarados fly? I'm not sure.
They portray him like in the air, but
right. I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah, I've seen it too. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he can fight in the water, because I've heard. Who said? I think Joy Boy was like, I don't think he can fight underwater. I've heard a few people
they don't
say they don't think it's possible, but I think
it is
possible as well. I think He's a fish fruit.
Exactly.
Like, how do you?
So what's the significance of that?
Exactly.
Being a fish,
but you can't swim. Yeah, exactly.
And we've never seen that before.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that Kaido can move underwater.
Exactly.
And we'll see we'll see.
Unless he's like Magikarp. You know how Magikarp is like useless? He just splashes around, yeah. But Magikarp can actually swim, I think. Yeah, because you have to fish. This turned into a whole Pokemon discussion.
Kaido. But yeah, shout out to young Kaido. He's about to fuck shit up.
But yeah, Magikarp. What if like his fish form was useless? What if that was the way of beating Kaido? Like getting him in his fish form and then like somehow trapping him in that form, or like catching him, like covering him with some sort of sea prism stone while he's in the fish form. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass, guys, at this point. But hear me out.
That's crazy.
What if like he's so useless, they can somehow like catch him, and that's how they end up winning? You know what I mean? Because like he's not powerful unless he transforms into his dragon or his Gyarados form. But as a fish, he has no real ability. Like he can't swim, he can't do anything, he can't fight. Like he has no arms, no legs. Like he's just
so
like
Get
flopping
him into the water.
So maybe.
But I think people would have tried that already, because
that's true.
Introduction they highlighted.
That's true.
How he's been captured.
I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass, but that would be fun. That would actually be funny. But yeah, I think that's all we have. Do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to say going into 1001, or any predictions outside of like that you have with any other characters or anything?
Not at the moment.
All right.
No, not at the moment. Not prediction wise. We'll just we'll see.
Right.
That's my mode right now.
Right. I'm about to say, yeah, we're definitely gonna come back to this. I want to do this discussion with Dutch after Act 3, because again, I think we'll have a little bit more information. I think we'll probably go like 3 or 4 more chapters before the act closes.
Okay.
So I guess a month or so from now, it'll probably close soon. A month or so from now, expect another video, and we can like really try to figure it out. But for now, we'll leave it there. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I'll probably have a Hunter x Hunter video up by the time this uploads, or it's going to come shortly after. And then we got 1001 coming the 17th. And if you read the scans, it'll be out before then. So I'll see you guys for that review. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.